San Diego, Comic Con, Kansas!
I think we finally made it, Rich.
I don't know, Robbie, I need a minute. What a journey, Bubba.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Holy cats.
Ah, Richie.
Unbelievable.
What a road. What a road it's been, Rich.
What a road, Robbo. 12 seasons going into old number 13.
When we started on the show,
Yeah.
we were in our knee socks.
And 50.
It was weird. 2050 in knee socks.
We're trendsetters, Bob.
That's right.
Trendsetters. For those of you who might be like, I don't know, new to school, in the wrong room, or way in the back and unable to see anything, this little blurry dot is Rob Benedict. You know what I'm saying?
And this little fuzzy thing is Richard Spade Jr. He played Gabriel. Most recently, he's director of Supernatural.
Right? We got to start lineup, man. Let's get right into it, shall we?
All right, so Kansas, those guys can sing.
They can sing.
Well, we brought our own singer. Please welcome executive producer and showrunner of Supernatural, Mr. Bob Singer. Bob Singer.
There he is. The man did nope, Bob. Nope, we discussed this backstage. Next to him, taking the stage, America's favorite apples, Gentry.
Next up, a man whose hair is getting its own spin-off series.
Yeah.
Mr. Jared Padalecki.
I can't wait to see a show about crime-fighting hair.
Yeah, it's going to be great series.
And last but not least, not only is this gentleman the showrunner, but also the inventor of a new dance move, Andrew Dab.
Wow, guys, congratulations on another amazing season. Season 12. Amazing. Love it.
Real quickly, sidebar. How about that opening?
How about Kansas?
So we had fun moments backstage because these boys obviously wanted to watch the show, so they were trying on masks to see what would hide them. And I can tell you, after surveying all the masks in the room, no mask to look. It really does. It's hard to hide the hair and the bow legs, you know what I mean? And, it tells the story. But seriously, I mean, this is a hell of a year this has been. Unbelievable season. So much craziness.
What were your favorite episodes of this season?
12 and 20.
Those are the ones you directed.
Yeah. Oh, wait. You got a favorite, Robin?
The other 21.
You're a jerk.
No, seriously, the finale. I thought the finale was amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations on surviving in the finale. You're the only two.
They were the only two. It was a bloodbath.
Yeah, so, yeah, it really was. I mean, Rowena's toast.
She's literally toast.
Yeah, toast. And Crowley sacrificed.
Yeah.
And Mom is locked in another dimension with Lucifer.
Kind of a dream bait scenario.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I
Buddy.
gotta do this.
Buddy.
I gotta do this. Bobby.
What did you do?
Did you really kill Castiel?
No.
You know, we have said over the course of time, one thing that keeps the show fresh and why we've gone into our 13th season is we say when we write these things that you have to go where the story takes you. And Andrew and myself and the other writers, we thought that perhaps Castiel's time would come. Right? Frank luckily, and I think the guys will back me up on this, Misha had become a bit of a prima donna. Wanted to be number one on the call sheet.
Sorry, guys, I guess I was back there, but they never told me to come out, but I heard my name, so I assumed. This is awkward.
Well, this just got really weird.
You just, you stopping on, you want to keep crossing and go off?
No, I'm tired, I'll just rest right here.
Well, now, I guess maybe we should just ask him, what's it like to not be on the show anymore? He's excited.
They just had to take the story where it went, but I'm not going away. That's been dealt by set, craft services, that kind of thing? Yeah. That's nice.
Let's go stalking.
And in America.
Clearly Misha is here and he's going to be back, but he is a prima donna.
I will say, now that Misha's
I love you, Jared!
there are a few people that love you, but there was a really so for the first time in 13 years, Ackles and I were like, we're not going to wait backstage while Kansas plays. We want to be in the audience. So they snuck us way into the back corner so we could watch while Kansas was playing. And a lovely young lady who was back there, and you know who you are, got up and started dancing, and then she's like, it turns over, and here's Misha, and she's like, hey, will you take my, oh my God! Hey, will you take a full-on circle? I'm a Misha, you go.
Well, she has that experience, but now there's a whole bunch of people in that corner going, wait a minute. Wait a minute! Can't listen to me, so we're behind me! Kill myself!
Oh, not funny.
Baba. So let's talk about something that's actually relevant.
Season 13, after that finale, what's the plan from here? Where do you go from there?
Well, episode 1, Castiel dies.
Yeah.
I'll let Andrew handle that one.
Sure. Well, I think for us, season 12, by the end of season 11, when Mom comes back, season 12, the guys kind of had the happiest situation they could have. Mom's back, all the friends are alive, they saved the world without having to sacrifice each other. And season 12 was...
You really messed that up, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And then season 13, we're like, well, that was a horrible idea. Like, too much, everybody's nice, and who wants that? So then we just murder. Which is really what the show is based on, just multiple serial homicides that everyone in this audience has witnessed to and probably will be indicted for, but that's a conversation.
You're all colluding.
There's something great about listening to Andrew talk seriously about the show while in the monitor, teeny tiny little Misha sits next to him at the kids' table.
Can we talking to the producers here, can we make this happen on set? Can we have no more big...
I didn't know he was allowed to sit. I wasn't sleeping.
But so listen, one of the big characters we saw at the end of the season, we saw Lucifer. He got himself a little boy. Has a son, Jack. Now this, we see this character very briefly, curled up naked in the corner, which actually ironically how Rob started on the show.
That was just in my trailer before they called the set. I was crying.
Okay, weird. But Jack is half Lucifer, half mortal, so there's a lot of moral ambiguity at play here. Andrew, you want to talk about that? How's this character going to play into the season, and how do you think it will develop over time?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you mentioned, Rich, most of how we see the character is naked. And I think it's an important element to add, Dynasty's coming on, we have to compete. That's just the way I look at it.
If you were to die at the end of season 12, like somebody on this stage, would you come back naked?
I don't know that we can afford the blur effect. You mean because like so much of the screen?
Well, I know what you mean, because you'd have not just one blur, you'd have 3 blurs.
I think it's great to have this conversation because we all know Jared's been very honest on his Twitter feed. And I think this is a healthy forum to discuss this.
I thought that was so brave.
So brave. So accurate. So great.
I will say that after, and I had several friends and family members call me to say like, dude, you twittering some stuff? So, to tell you from my end of the story, we're in Chicago a week ago, and I go to bed about 11 o'clock, and I get some sleep, and I wake up at 4 o'clock to like go to the bathroom or something, and I have all these like, your Twitter was favorited, your Twitter was liked, your Twitter was favorited, your Twitter was liked. My Twitter, like, I tweet something, and then I have
It said your tweet is really gaining traction?
Yeah, your tweet is gaining traction, make a comment. And I was like, and so then I have one text message, not from Jensen, not from Misha, not from Bob or Andrew or Richard or Rob, it's from Matt Cohen. And I was like, Matt, is he okay? Because he's not the type to text me at like 2 in the morning. So I opened it up, and it just says, dude, Twitter. So I opened my Twitter.
I didn't realize he's fluent in Ackles.
It may have been Twitter, dude. Or dude, but those 2 words, nothing in the order. And so I opened my Twitter, and I'm like, that's the last time I hand my phone over to Misha Collins.
In fairness, I think it was 2 years ago at Comic-Con that I posted. You were like, you grabbed my phone when we were signing, and apparently I posted on Twitter, I hate fans. Which is a great thing to post at Comic-Con. And for the rest of the signing, everybody was coming up like, ugh.
That's right. I remember when panic set in, because we do a signing after this, and we're signing, you pass, and you sign, you pass. And then Misha, upon realizing that, so he had just put his phone on the table and it was on, and I was like, put it back upon. I think like he got a bunch of phone calls or something. He was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like excuse himself.
Yeah, you've done that to almost all of us, and that's why we were high-fiving when we saw that tweet. But, one time I got him.
Yeah, that's why you didn't get a lot of warning phone calls from friends.
But bringing it back, so Jensen, how will Dean and Sam react to this Jack character?
Differently.
Dude. Cool. I told you they were going to make this hard. I begged you not to ask them questions.
Go to your notes. Go to your notes.
There's been a lot of build-up to this. I mean, the whole season's been dealing with Klein and
It's obviously the mom being gone, Cass, and all of this kind of turmoil that the brothers find themselves in. Now they have this person, this thing, this entity, and in Dean's mind, just simply has to go. But because technically it's half human, the ever optimistic Sam Winchester thinks,
Half female?
half human.
Half human. I'm in a weird echo spot. So I'm catching
The vortex. So they're
half female?
we have 2 different ideas of how to handle the situation.
Oh, wait,
does Jared know we're doing a panel?
Do you
Somebody
know
wake up Panel
for Comic-Con right now? Okay, anyway,
But
I
yeah,
tried.
yeah, that character could go either way. Could be evil, could be.
Have Sam and Dean encountered somebody with these sort of characteristics before? Sort of the half Lucifer, half human. Have they wrestled this moral dilemma previously?
To this degree, it's kind of difficult, right? I'm trying to think of the last time.
Oh no, this is the spawn of the devil. So
Right, yeah.
Which I don't know why anyone would want to see how that works out. You know what? Let's see how this plays out. What could possibly go wrong? Dean's a little more practical. I have an idea. Let's shoot it in the face.
And Sam's a bit like, that might just piss it off. I think.
Well, at least we'll know.
I think Sam, kudos to Bob and Andrew and the rest of our writers. It's a neat, we've danced around this a couple times, but not to this degree, the whole nature versus nurture argument. And so it is, Jack certainly is half Lucifer, but he's also half Kelly Klein, right? Kelly Klein was a good person, and so Sam, ever the optimist, is trying to figure out what to do, and Dean, being Dean, shoot first, ask questions later.
Some things never change.
And Andrew, is that a journey that Jack himself will go on in his sort of development, trying to figure out which side he's on?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the character, obviously, as Jared and we talked about, we've got strong opinions. I think from Jared's point of view, especially from Sam's point of view, Sam was a character who was, as we remember from way, way back, destined to do very bad things. And, and still may. A lot of years left. But he's or not. I don't know. But the idea that I think Sam can kind of put himself in those shoes a little bit better, and then for Jack himself, he's someone who I think is struggling with that and will continue to struggle with that in our version of Hell's Macho Dance.
And then Misha, so you've been doing a lot of gardening, or?
Yeah, so you can you can't plant tomatoes until July, so that's what I'm getting into now.
Cool.
That's right. Anywho.
That's funny. And so mom is trapped in this other dimension, this other world.
Right. And so much of the season, there was the Mary character, wonderfully played by Samantha Smith. You guys had a service that story really well, and the way Sam reacted to Mary, and the way Dean was reacting to Mary, and how you guys were coping with her return, dealing with the Bridgman letters. Now that she's had this experience and is now, made this move to try to do the right thing, and now finds herself on the other side of this wall, in this hole. How do Sam and Dean differ in their approach to how to handle that situation?
Dean thinks she's gone, that she went through the rift. It's a rift, Rich, not a hole. Oh.
I was just making sure you read the notes.
Okay. She went through the rift, the hole, with Lucifer, and the whole rift closed. And Dean is pretty sure that that's curtains for Mom, and while he's bereft over that, he's ready to accept that. Sam thinks, no, she went through alive. We've been on the other side of this rift. He's holding on to the fact that she could still be alive, and it's a bit of it's a problem between the guys, because Sam's mission at the beginning part of season 13 is, let's find Mom, and Dean's idea is, we have bigger fish to fry, Mom's dead, you're just going to have to come to that realization. Spoiler alert, Mom is not dead.
I told you. Dean's kind of a Debbie Downer at the beginning of the season. Deanie Downer. Wah, wah. Let's kill Jack. Mom is dead. Everybody's dead. Yeah, good. I don't know Mom wasn't dead. I like that.
Read the script.
He hasn't read a script since season 7.
That's what we're on, right? A season 7.
And so, in the Mary storyline, by the way, Mary, who is with Lucifer on the other side of the rift, she's got her own journey. She's got her own challenges to face now. Andrew, how do we see that playing out for her?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of Mary, obviously, she came back with very, first very kind of spun out. She didn't ask to come back, she was brought back, she was sent back. It took her a while to find her footing, I think, with the world at large and more specifically with her son. And by the end of the season, I think everyone's in a very good place. She's been lost. Over on the other side, here she's got someone who, as far as Mary's concerned, she made the sacrifice knowingly. She went through that with knowingly. Like, I don't know that she is necessarily, that's something she's kind of, I think, comes to terms with. That doesn't mean she's not active. That doesn't mean she doesn't want to make this world a better place, because the world she's gone into is far worse than the world in which our guys live day to day. And then I also think, one of the interesting things about Jack is that, as we know, the only person that's ever opened a rift in this world is Jack. So Jack is the key to getting back. One, how do you convince him to do that? Can you convince him to do that? And do you want him to do that? Because you're just opening a hole to a world which has been ravaged by the apocalypse. You hope that door is one way, but maybe it's not. And so I think those are all things everyone's kind of struggling with.
Yeah. And I think you brought up a good point that she did it knowingly. So Mary sacrificed herself for the good of the Winchesters. Crowley sacrificed himself for the good of the Winchesters. Did anybody else die in the finale?
Not that I can figure out.
Did not sacrifice themselves for somebody else's good?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm willing to read recaps, Twitter, if you want to let me know. But no, I mean, a big part of the final episode, we got all these people, and really a lot of part of the season, you had a lot of people who came together, and it was really about how Sam and Eve impacts each other, but also other people. So you saw how they impacted other hunters. You saw how they impacted, Crowley and Rowena and Castiel. And so a lot of what ended up being our last book, so a lot of people, Jody Mills, a lot of people stepping up and helping the Winchesters and the way Winchesters helped so many people. And that was really important to us, is to build a sense of community, and then because it's supernatural, you tear it all down. But, over the course of the season, that was really what it was about.
And then speaking of this apocalyptical?
Apocalyptical.
Apocalyptical.
I think that's a piece of exercise equipment.
I was on trying to hear something apocalyptical this morning. Speaking of this apocalyptical world, what happened was, so we saw Bobby, who, and what this other world seems to do is, it's another alternate reality. So it's Bobby, but it's Bobby living a different life. He doesn't know the boys.
Right.
So is this world, could that open up for other characters to reappear in the same way?
Anybody specific?
I mean, it's not like...
This sounds more like a pitch than a question.
Well, I'm just curious, is God, like, where does God, am I putting back God?
We are not of the universe, but it's a really big universe. It's possible. Depends how you do here today. Oh crap! Gabriel? Yeah, I don't think so. Come on!
What does that? We'll do our own spin-off, Rich. So that world could open up to bring some other characters back.
It definitely could, yes. By the way, because we left the tease, Rich, and we don't know if Gabriel, we love that character. But I think for first and second time directing, Richard Spate's direction on this show has been just fantastic, and we're just so happy with it.
Can you tease any characters that will be back, or no? We're not doing that yet.
Please, Charlie.
By the way, by tease, he means give them a hard time.
Yes, poke at people, no. I think we've got some cool characters coming back, both in our world and in the Apocalypse world. So that's the fun of it. It's, we've got some people coming back like, Missouri Mosley's going to come back for us for the first time in a long time. Obviously, Jody will be back for us, and some more people like that. And then in Apocalypse world, without getting into spoilers, some people who have been long dead on our show are less dead in Apocalypse world, and much bigger characters.
That's exciting.
Goodness.
It's more eager.
That's promising. So my phone hasn't changed, FYI.
You know, we're talking about a show that's been on since half this room wasn't born. We were going 13 years into a show. And the thing I think that makes Supernatural special in the world of television, for not just us who are involved in it, but also for you folks who watch it, is that it continues to reinvent itself. It continues to be interesting, tell fun stories, tell engaging stories that are emotional and connect with the audience. And that's all, if I may say, driven by the fabulous performances of you two gentlemen who continue to do it. Misha came along and slowed it down for a while, but now he's gone. We can get back to the business of making quality TV. So for your journey,
This joke is not funny anymore.
this is the best day of my life. But it can be reflective for a moment about, and Bob, you've been with the show since the beginning as well. So the question is for all three of you. Season 1 to now, how has your experience been, and how has your relationship with both the show and in your case, Jensen and Jared, your characters, how has it evolved over this long period of time?
That's an easy question. How was the last 13 years of your life?
Great, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Thank you, good night.
Hey, good night. That it is hard to speak quickly about the experience that we've had. Obviously, it's the longest job I've ever held, and I guess one of my favorite things, one of many things that I love about doing this job is that we're never doing the same thing twice. Every day is a new experience. We're telling different stories. There's new characters to introduce and old characters to finally get rid of. And
it's that kind of crappy acting that got you fired.
it's been wonderful. The experience has been great. We've had our ups and downs. We've had great seasons. We've had maybe not so great seasons. It's an ebb and flow, but I think through it all, it has been wonderful, and I'm very proud to be a part of something that's lasted this long.
I agree with everything you just said. I think for me also, it was kind of specifically, and it's difficult for me to identify the chicken and the egg. Not that I would even know which came first anyway.
Well, one is a bird.
One is
the other
little Twitter
doesn't
thing.
really move.
That's right. Got it. That's what it is. No, but Jared was a lot. Jared and Sam were sort of similar season 1 in that I was like, man, this is hard work. Like this is difficult to be up in Vancouver. I had no friends. I was living in a hotel room. We didn't know if we had a job for more than 2 months because we hadn't been picked up for a season. We hadn't even really aired yet, so we didn't have this family, which is badass, that we have now. And there was nothing, Twitter didn't exist. I don't mean maybe it existed, but it wasn't like, oh, well, I'm getting support from my friends that aren't here.
iPhones didn't exist.
iPhones, that's right. It came out like season 1, right? I know, Jesus. Love you back. So gradually, as the show was going on, both Sam and Jared have realized that this is life. And life is pretty great. It can have its ebbs and flows, to what he was talking about. It's ups and downs, it's good days and it's bad days, but it's wonderful. And to look out here after 13 years and see how many thousand people jumping around and dancing, and Kansas is here. I met my wife on the show. We have 3 kids. She's somewhere out there.
Can I add one thing, even though I wasn't there at the beginning? We were talking on I know I'm new and now I'm gone, but we were talking about this on Friday. Someone asked us about a question about sort of the eventual demise of the characters and the end of the show. And Jensen started talking about a vision that he had had, a dream that he had had about the demise, about the end of the show, and about Sam dying. And the amazing thing about it was when he was describing this dream, the three of us kind of got choked up because we all know these characters so well, they're so a part of us that we have actually sort of taken them into our own emotional family, if that makes any sense. They feel real to us. And so if the thought of Jensen as Dean losing Sam is actually like heartbreaking, which is kind of amazing. And that can only possibly happen, I think, with a show that's been running for this long.
Yeah. Bob Singer, you know, one of the great consistent through lines through the whole show has been the voice and talents of Bob Singer, who's been writing stories, directing episodes since the show started. And for you, you worked with Eric Kripke, then you shepherded in Sarah Gamble, Jeremy Carver, now Andrew Dabb as showrunners, and you have been consistently there guiding the show. How has your experience evolved over time, and has that been, because you've done it seamlessly from the outside, is it challenging to be sure that those voices stay consistent while also bringing in their own flavors to the show?
Well, I think like all of us, we didn't expect it to go on this long. My hair was dark when we started, and it's not anymore. Working with Eric was a real gift to me, and we hit it off right from the beginning and had a wonderful working relationship. Eric had his 5-year plan and left after 5 years, and I was not sure whether I wanted to stay. The next 2 years were a little difficult for me. Again, not sure I wanted to stay. Then Jeremy came in, and Jeremy and I co-wrote his first script on Supernatural, and then he went off to do something else, and we brought him back. But throughout it all, it's always been this ability to keep the show fresh, that if we felt like we were doing something, retreading something, no one involved in the show had any interest in doing that. Andrew, you'd you come with us, Andrew?
Season 4.
Season 4. So when Jeremy left, a rookie, a newcomer. When Jeremy left and Andrew inherited the mantle, I must say that I thought last year and so far this year